At one point, we drop shipped jeans, like the ones that you can wear. Worked quite good. Within 2 weeks, we did like 2,000 orders, which was crazy. COVID happened. Well, I don't have to like explain that. Like pretty much every online shop was going through the roof. Like people were buying stuff like crazy, and we got more clients. The team grew, got more professional, and ever since we've been growing, revenue-wise 70 to 80% every year as an agency, which is impressive.
This may be shocking to you, but just making simple tweaks to an e-commerce website can contribute millions and millions of dollars in boosted sales. And in today's video, or rather podcast, I brought on my friend Samuel Hess, who is the owner of Drip Agency, a CRO agency that goes into every single detail like a mad scientist for huge 8- and 9-figure Shopify stores, and allows them to unlock more revenue from the traffic that they're already driving. It's quite amazing. And in this specific podcast, we went so detailed and even went into some of these experiments that Samuel has done to uncover some secret metas that you may have not thought of when it comes to CRO. So extremely good interview. Honestly, one of my favorites that we've done so far this year because of how instructional it was, as well as entertaining if you're a business nerd like us. But ultimately, I really hope you enjoy it. Make sure that you check out the links in the description to support this podcast. And without further ado, here's the Samuel Hess interview. It's a pleasure to have you here, man. I know that we've been talking a lot, so it's cool that you're in the U.S. first and foremost. I usually do an intro to these like separately, so it's not a huge deal. But man, Drip Agency is pretty insane, and I know that the work that you've been doing is amazing. So I'm very happy to have you here on this conversation.
Yeah, thanks. Like super excited. Like I don't think I think I told you like once or twice, but like you were one of the first people that actually got me into e-commerce. So like back in 2017, 2018, when I was in high school, I watched some of your videos, and we actually started out dropshipping. So the agency was like sort of an accident that happened. I never planned on owning an agency in my life. But yeah, somehow I ended up here.
So cool, bro. That's so cool, and that's what I want to talk about really like right away is like that journey, man, because now you're working with huge brands, like overlooking some crazy stuff. But how did it begin, entrepreneurship in general for you? I'm always curious, like people's journey from the beginning.
Yeah, so man, we've had a lot. And so like actually fun thing. So I would say my journey started back in 2016. I was a high school exchange student in the States. So I did like 6 or 7 months in high school in the States, in Pennsylvania. And the whole family that I had, I was like super lucky. Like amazing people. I'm still in touch with them. Actually just went to Guatemala with them a couple of weeks ago.
Wow.
And they own their own company. So like for me, it was the first time like really seeing what is possible. Like if you have your own company. So also I was like, man, I want to start something. And then initially Alex Becker got me into his funnel.
Real quick, if you appreciate these clips and interviews that I put forward for you, then please make sure you use our Shopify link in the description to start your own Shopify business with an exclusive deal. And also make sure you check out acumulab.com for additional resources, free tools, guides, and just a lot of interesting stuff that will help your journey, even some software deals that are exclusive to acumulab.com. So make sure you do that and continue watching the video.
Back in the day, like some people probably will remember it. And then we started looking to drop shipping because like it's capital efficient. You don't need a lot of upfront capital. Met my co-founder at Fabi through a friend in high school, and we started. I think the first thing we started selling was like wooden bracelets. Like we did 3+ shipping offers and stuff like that. I think we got it to like 10 or 15K a month. Like nothing crazy. Then our credit cards got suspended, so we couldn't work it out at all. Like at that point, I think we were 17, so like everything wasn't legal at all. Like was like. Through some shady things we had, like the only like way we were able to run it. Then we turned 18, and our parents were like, well, either you go to college and we support you financially, or you don't and you're on your own. So we were like, man, we definitely don't want to go to college. So we both did like a sort of trying to check our parents. We did like both a gap year. So first we went to the States for 6 months together. Then he went to Japan. I went to New Zealand. And during that time, like we used all the time trying to figure out new dropshipping stores. And then at one point we sold flower pots, a little bit of, we sold backpacks, phone cases made out of roses and coffee. Then at one point we drop shipped jeans, like the ones that you can wear. Worked quite good. Within 2 weeks we did like 2,000 orders, which was crazy. But then the problem was in 2 weeks, so like 1,000 a week. Yeah, which it was insane. Only problem we had back then, we had no clue about how unit economics should look like. So we had like a bunch of like, especially in fashion, like you could imagine that like we saw the orders coming in like $300, $400, but like a lot of that was like returns. So then the returns started racking up at my co-founder's parents' house. Like all the shipments that went back, like came back to them, and they were like, guys, like we can't do that anymore. Like they sent us a picture, like entire like floor and basement was like full of returns. So then we like cut our trip short and came back to Germany. We're like, well, we sort of are able to sell jeans online. So then we're like, okay, the biggest problem is quality, because like we opened them and they were like bad. Like like such a bad smell when you opened it. We were like, okay, maybe let's produce high quality jeans. So we did that. We actually started producing jeans in Portugal. Didn't know what we were doing at all. I think we took like 30,000 euros at that time into like inventory, like all the money we had made until that point. And turns out it takes like 8 to 9 months until a product is like ready from prototyping to like getting ready. So we're like, oh, we didn't anticipate that. So we're like, oh well, like our parents still want us to go to college. And then we sort of started a web design agency and marketing agency for local businesses. So we ran advertisements for our local Chinese restaurant and like targeting people from school and universities, and we're like bringing them people in through lunch offers and stuff like that.
Whoa.
Built some very basic websites like that, paid the bills, like got some money in, and then at one point we started posting on LinkedIn because we met someone was like, hey, like you should start posting on LinkedIn and do content. It's like the new thing. Like he was just coming back from the States and LinkedIn was starting to get popular. So then 2018, we started posting daily about like how to optimize your shop and stuff like that. And then the founder of Snox, Johannes, Snox is like a pretty big German brand. They're doing 70, 80 million a year just in Germany. So very large brand. He's like back then in 2018, he saw the jeans shop we had, and we figured out some ways how to customize the checkout, which like, if you remember back then, like customizing the checkout, if you didn't have Plus was like magic. So we found some ways to do that and work around it. So he was like, man, how do you do that? Like we're doing like a couple hundred times, like back then Snox was a little bit small, like way smaller. It was like, how did you do that? Like, can you come and like do that for us? So he invited us to their office, and actually turned out we didn't leave. We spent like 3 months in their office living there because we didn't have enough money to afford rent. And then like after 3 months, we had enough money, like he brought in some clients, and Snox became our first really big client. And also Johannes was like telling us, well guys, just focus on one thing, like do the agency, don't do the other e-com stuff. So we pretty much stopped selling jeans. To this day I have like 250 jeans lying in my basement.
Wow.
So pretty much stocked for life.
That's
But yeah, then we started focusing on A/B testing. And then COVID happened. Well, I don't have to like explain that. Like pretty much every online shop was going through the roof. Like people were buying stuff like crazy. And we got more clients. The team grew. We got more professional. And ever since we've been growing like 70, 80, like revenue wise, 70 to 80% every year as an agency, which is impressive. And now, yeah, starting this year, we started to do our marketing and like our content in English and everything. So now, because like sort of in Germany, we hit a ceiling, like it's hard for us like to grow at that pace. So we just want to try to go more international. And also the economy in Germany, honestly, is not that good right now. So a lot of the brands are more in how can we cut costs, how can we be more efficient. So it's like way harder getting new clients. So yeah,
Wow.
but that's like the story, very short, compressed into some minutes. Like it's been a crazy journey.
Yeah, that is wild. I had no idea. That's so funny with the jeans story, man. And what I think is really cool about that too is how like that store, in a weird way that you probably would have never imagined, led to like meeting that guy that wanted, oh, he's like, oh, that checkout's really cool. Like you guys should help me. So that's amazing.